Gentlemen and ladies, it's Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, and that didn't sound quite right, did it? So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube. Folks, we are going to be checking out CKB on today's charts and what in the heck is going on with it, and why can't we hold above this 2-cent level? We'll get into this in just a second, but before we get started, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where I drop links to upcoming videos, gifs of rockets blasting off, little bits of news, and things I find interesting. So without further ado, we also have 8,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel now, and while this isn't a big number, I totally understand that, but it is for me. So I'm very happy and pleased to have all of you here, and I sincerely appreciate each and every single one of you consuming the material that I put on this channel. And I do understand that by putting videos on this channel, I am taking the most valuable thing away from you, and that is your time. So you guys have my pledge. And you guys always have had this. This is not something new. That, I will show up to do the TA with the highest standards, with the highest mental capability and capacity that I have. I will pour my heart into every single video, no less than the last. So with that said, here we are, trading at 0.0196. And we do have a little bit of bullish engulfing going on the 4-hour channel. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. I am sick today. I had gotten food poisoning last night. I ate some cheese dip, and it made me extremely sick. It's not COVID. I've had that test. So if I kind of sound out of it today, it's because I am recovering from food poisoning, of all things. So back to the charts, we can see that we are really creeping on this 2-cent level. And a lot of people have voiced their concern to me about why we can't pass or stay above this 2-cent level. And I just want to explain something, that I do think the 2-cent level is important, but I do think that in a grand scheme of things, it is irrelevant, and it is just more of a nice psychological number that we have all kind of placed in our heads. This 0.0185 is actually a way better number to be above right now than the 2-cent level. And here's why. We can see massive support here. There is a little bit of support here, resistance here. So this really is a fighting line for CKB price action, and as long as we can remain on top of this 0.0185 level, I think we're sitting good, even if it's under 2 cents, folks. So that is just my opinion on the whole price action situation right now. But currently we can see on the 4-hour chart, we have some sort of descending triangle that is forming. And usually these are somewhat of a bearish pattern to see. So what I'm hoping is that we see price action kind of come up and maybe crush this out of existence. That would be extremely nice to see. There are some concerns that I have. If this is a bearish pattern, we might see price action break to the downside. And if that does happen, we will really have some ways to go before we get caught by this security net trend line. And so that might be a 0.013, 0.015 CKB. And this is, I'm just speaking right now that this is worst case scenario. But what we do have here, though, is some impulse moves to the upside. And I do think that we might be seeing this ABC, or possibly even an ABCDE correction, sideways trading, which is always a wonderful thing to see, because that means that we came up, consolidated to the side, and now might be positioning ourselves to really break free of this triangle and really kind of start moving again to the upside. So we have the 200 moving average coming up like this. And we have the 50 moving average kind of doing one of these. So if we go to the upside, we will see a very nice bounce, possibly off this 50 moving average. And now I have mentioned the November 5th, November 4th being an important date for CKB, and I just want to go ahead and reiterate that I still think that there really is going to be some sort of volatile movement around the 4th or 5th. And I'm saying that that does line up really nicely, because this descending triangle, typically we do not see price squeeze all the way to the end and then drop out or drop above. Usually we will see price action kind of leave this 1/4, maybe 1/3 portion of the descending or ascending triangle. Usually we'll see something like this occur or something like this occur. Usually never do we ever ride this thing out and squeeze down to the bottom here. So that's why I do think that this November 4th and 5th area is relevant right now. And one other thing, so if we can maintain this, bear with me one second. And this kind of makes sense too, that if this thing kind of trades sideways and we can maintain this, we might get a nice little bounce off of this median line here for a move to the upside. And this is where things could get very interesting with CKB. I do think that there'd be a great chance to bid at that 3-cent level. So with that said, let's see where that 3-cent level is. So 3 cents is right up around this 161.8 level. So that is good to see this extension up there. That is usually a point where we might see some reversal. Same with this 127% extension level. So bear with me one second here, folks. I'm parched. So overall, I do think that CKB is looking good. Let's just kind of go over a scenario for the downside, though, because it is important to cover both sides. So if this thing breaks for whatever reason to the downside, I do think that 0.016658 would be a decent reversal point that we might expect CKB to turn around at. So keep that in mind. But for now, we will keep our fingers on the pulse of CKB until this thing starts ripping. But just know that we are kind of squeezing right now in between this 0.0185-ish level and possibly 0.021, somewhere in there. So if you see this thing trading above 0.021 over the next day or two, just know that we have possibly exited this a descending triangle formation here. So really, folks, I'm starting to get nauseous here. I'm going to end the video, and I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all the Patreons. I truly appreciate all of your support, more than you guys know. It's $3 a month. If you guys want to get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner, it's just $3 a month. So